My video for August 21st, 2018, which is video number 2822, is entitled, Truth is the First Casualty of All Wars. If you search for references on who said that, you will find fingers pointing in more than one direction, with at least one going back over 2,500 years to a Greek dramatist whose name I cannot pronounce. Indeed, I am convinced that the so-called rulers on this planet have been deceptive from whatever the beginning may have been. Even our religions have been overlaid with falsehoods propagated by alleged prophets and seers that keep humanity imprisoned. Whatever the real facts are, I'm convinced we will never be truly free without first knowing the truth of our collective deception. While my radio program many years ago was called Be Not Deceived, I have to admit that I was led astray like virtually everyone else on this planet of lies. As I grapple with the deceptions, I struggle for truth. Some justify the struggle by saying it builds character. To me, it's just the opposite. It destroys character by providing excuses for those who only want to keep humanity enslaved for their own profit and power. What's it going to take to resolve this conundrum? Where the hell is the so-called loving God? Every day I struggle to try to find answers and a new way of presenting the conundrum, the dilemma that we find ourselves in as human beings. This past weekend was extremely busy for me. 3 days in a row, I was just nonstop. And I took the time earlier today to just go back to bed after putting my video up and getting things done in the morning and going for my walk in the park that I do every morning. After I finished all of that, I went back and went to bed for a 2 to 3 more hours. And then when I woke up, I once again was wrestling with the idea, what do I make my video on? How do I make it fresh? How do I make it something that's going to be inspiring for people? Or even more than inspiring for people, I'd like to inspire God, whatever God is, to actually stop making excuses. I know you've heard me say that many times, and I feel it very, very strongly. I feel that this earth is an excuse to allow demons to be in charge, to justify an experience that, to me, has no logical justification. There's no reason to allow the inhumanity of man to man. Forget the animals and the rest of nature. Yeah, we have messed with animals. We have messed with nature. We have polluted the planet. All of that is true. I'm not debating that. I'm not arguing about that. But I am looking at how men treat other men. Now, some say, Ron, but some of us aren't really human. Some, what we think of as being human, are actually in disguise. They're reptilians or demons or something other than just human. Well, what does it mean then to be human? To me, humanity is something that is made in the image of God. But what does that mean? We have been told, some of us that have been delving in and exploring, have been told that those that created us took an original creation and modified it so that we would have built-in forgetfulness and we would not be able to build on our experience of what happened before. And that the motive for that was enslavement. The motive for that was control. And there seems to have always been those who lust after controlling everybody else. The lust is for power. It's not really even money. Money is just the means of gaining the power because we have placed so much emphasis on money that we forget that all value comes from character. But our character has been compromised as human beings. We do not know how to love ourselves, even. We don't know who we are. Folks, I continue to make these videos, and I'm going to continue as far as I know every day. I still have to say that I wrestle with knowing the truth. No religion is free of manipulation. None of them. I get people say, well, don't you believe in Jesus? I'm not so sure. I always did. I thought I knew, thought I had a relationship. But is that true? See, I don't know what true is. I don't know. I was programmed to believe a certain thing from childhood, but then again, I developed my own thinking and rejected a lot of even the stuff that I was taught as a child, which is why I have family members that still don't consider me to be a Christian in their view, and that's what it means to be a saved person or a good person. But Christians have not been good in much of the world. Christians have been as much guilty of promoting war as Jews, which in the modern age are mostly Ashkenazis, which are not Semites. So it's not an anti-Semitic statement. The Palestinians are Semites, and some Jews are Semites, but most aren't. And of course, Islam, which could be a light, isn't, because most Muslims want to destroy everybody that's not Muslim. Now, I know that's not an absolute truth. There's no absolute truth. That's the problem. We've had so many lies mixed in with what we believe is true, what we've been told is true, but even our very history is a manipulated story by those who won wars. And wars have always been waged to cement and solidify that control over a population that is purposely dumbed down and kept in ignorance. What's it going to take to change that? Some say the RV. Well, maybe that will enable some people to do some things that would be beneficial, not have been, but would be beneficial to all mankind. But even people that would profit from the RV, many of them are still stuck in their religion, thinking that it's going to somehow prove that their religion is the right one. Love is the only right one. I keep telling you that. Love is the only one. It's not a religion. Religion means to bind. Now, some say it means to, they justify it by saying to bind to the truth. No, it means to enslave. It means to put shackles on the person. That's what binding means. It means to tie them up. And we've been tied up in a system of lies. We've been deceived our whole lives. Even those of us who may, like me, have created programs called Be Not Deceived. God is not mocked. God needs to be mocked if he makes excuses for allowing this conundrum to continue unabated and allowing civilization after civilization to fall and have to start all over again. Whose fault is that, if not the actual creator? I wish for truth and love to prevail. I wish to see the end of all wars, especially the war that rages within each of us as we struggle to find out who we are and to know for sure and to be able to love ourselves and love our neighbor as ourselves. That's the answer, the only answer, a simple answer that I think we all need to hear and practice. Thank you for listening, and namaste.